Hello friends, welcome to another weekly top-down analysis video on the golden GJ. So as usual, we are going to start our analysis with the monthly time frame, and then we will go down to lower time frames, a weekly, daily, 4-hour and 30 minutes time frame. So without wasting any time, let's get started. And first of all, we are going to start with the gold monthly time frame. So now let's come to the gold monthly time frame. So here we can see that we have basically we had a resistance. So we can see here, at one time we had resistance, 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 and finally we were able to close above this resistance, and the next candle opened and closed like with a rejection to the upside and to the downside. So what is the current situation with the current monthly candle? We can see that the candle opened because we close above the resistance, so there is a higher probability for the price to continue going to the upside. Also we can see that we have a wick to fill. So for the current monthly candle, as we have already created kind of bottom wick and we have not broken the low of the previous candle, so I still believe that there is a very high probability for the price to continue going up and fill this wick, as we can see here on the monthly time frame. Now let's go to weekly time frame to find more details what is happening on the weekly time frame. So gold on the weekly time frame, we can see that we have a resistance right here, and we have a support right here, right? So we can see that the price is ranging between the support and resistance, right? So also we can see that the candles are coming down and basically making lower lows and lower highs, right? Every candle is coming down and breaking the low of the previous candle, so we are coming down. This one is the support. Still there is a higher probability for the price to continue going down, at least to the support, and then it totally depends upon how we do. I mean, if we get a closure below the support, then we can see that we have a clean range on the left hand side, and the next support is right here. So on the weekly time frame, if we close below, there is a higher probability price is going to go to the downside. So that is to the downside, but at the same time, if we form a support right here, like if we forms a support here, because this is a previous support area, so if it forms a support, then there is a higher probability price can continue going up to the next side of the range, which is right here, because we have the resistance here. So if we forms a support at the previous support area, price most likely is going to come to here, and again this is the resistance. So if we get a closure above this resistance, then there is a higher probability price is going to come up to fill this wick on the left hand side. So that is something on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to a daily time frame to see more details what is happening on the daily time frame. Now on the gold daily time frame, we can see that the price is kind of coming to the downside. So like we can see we created kind of low here, and we came up, basically created a lower high, and then we broke the previous low, created a new low, and the price already, I mean, we are bearish as long as we do not break the this lower high of this structure, right? So now let's also mark our support and resistance and try to see what are the levels on the daily time frame. So here we can see that we have this one as a resistance, and this one is the support. So now we know that we have a resistance, we have a support. Also we can see how the last daily candle closed. So we can see here we had the support, this candle closed below the support, next candle closed bullish, but still we stayed below this resistance turned support, and now we can see that the last daily candle closed bearish at this previous resistance or support, you can say. So right now what we can see that we have another support. I mean, we close bearish at this resistance, so there is a higher probability for the price to come down, but we have support close by, and then there is another support. So that is something to the downside. Also, if we get a closure above this resistance, we can see that we have a big range on the left hand side. Also we have a clean range to the left hand side for the price to continue going to the upside. Also we can see that if we get a closure below this support, then the next support is right here. Also we have a clean range, so there is a very high probability for the price to continue going down to the next support. So that is something on the daily time frame. Now let's go to 4-hour time frame to find more details what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4 hour, we can see that let's mark the support and resistance zones on the 4 hour time frame. So this one is going to be the resistance, and if we talk about the support, then this one is going to be our support, right? So we have a resistance, we have a support, and also we can see that this is also going to be a strong level, which we can see that, this is retested multiple times. So like, as we can see, support, 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 and we had resistance and we have support. So this one is a very strong level. And if we get a 4 hour candle close above this level, there is a higher probability price is going to go to the next resistance, which is right here. And again, if we get a closure above this resistance, the next resistance is right here. We have a clean range on the left hand side. So there will be a higher probability for the price to continue going up to the next resistance. That is something to the upside. To the downside, we need a closure below, this support to anticipate the price to go down to the next support, which is right here, right? So that is something on the 4 hour time frame. Now let's go down to 30-minute time frame to find more details. And on the 30-minute time frame, we can see that, let's mark the support and resistance zone as well. So like we can see that this one is the immediate resistance. And if we talk about the support, we have the support right here. If we talk about the next support is right here, and the next resistance is right into these areas, right? So now we can see that we are at the resistance. So we can see here, basically what the price did, we were kind of making higher highs and higher lows at one point of time, right? Then the price broke all these lows, created a new low. So now there is a probability price can continue going to the downside, to retest the support, or we can basically come up to make a deeper pullback and then continue going to the downside. Another situation is we come here, find support in this area, we can continue going up to the next resistance. So there are a few scenarios, but right now, in order to look for some trading opportunities, I would say that, okay, right now we have a resistance right here, right? So like we have a resistance right here. And now if we get a closure about this resistance during a high volume time, London session, New York session, we have clean range on the left hand side. So there is a higher probability for the price to go down. Price to go up to the next resistance, which is right here, right? At the same time, if we, get a closure below the support, we can see that there is a support, we get a closure below the support. Also, let's measure how much is the range below the support. So below this, we have something like 20 pips. So it's a not enough range, I would say. So there is not enough range to look for a breakout sales. But what I would suggest is, if the price break below this area, basically create a new low, and if we come up in this area, forms a resistance, then I'll be looking to take short in order to target this area and maybe more lows on the left hand side. So that will be something I'll look to the downside, and to the upside I have already mentioned what I'm looking for. So that is something about the gold. Now let's go to our second pair, which is GJ. Let's go to GJ chart, and again, we are going to start with the monthly time frame on the GJ. So GJ on the monthly time frame, as we can see, we look pretty much bullish because we are making higher highs and higher lows. We created a high, higher low. We created a high. Right now, the price can continue going up, or we can come down to form a support and a pullback, and then continue going to the upside. So that is something. But at the same time, let's also mark the support and resistance zones on the monthly time frame. This was a level once. And let's also mark what is the resistance. This is the resistance we have. And next resistance is right here. And the next support is right here, right? So we can see that on the monthly time frame, this was a support. The candle closed below the support, and now the current monthly candle basically did not break the low of the previous candle, and we have broken the high of the previous bearish candle. And right now it all depends upon where do we close. If we close above this resistance, if we close above this resistance, same like how we can see the candle now, there will be a very high probability for the price to come to the next resistance. Also, we have clean range on the left hand side, right? On the other side, if we close below this support, then there will be higher probability for the price to continue down to the next support. So that is something on the monthly time frame. Now let's go to a weekly time frame to find more details what is happening on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, same like monthly time frame, we are bullish, we are making high highs and higher lows. So as we can see here, we're creating higher highs and higher lows. Here we made basically a fake out, but still we are kind of creating high highs, right? Also, let's try to mark our support and resistance zones. So this was a level, and this is a resistance level, right? So as we can see, we already had a fake out in this area. The price closed below the support, and then we closed back into the range, and we anticipate the price to come to the next resistance. That already happened, but we can also see that the last weekly candle closed bearish at this resistance, but this candle closed with a very small body. So there is a probability if the next weekly candle break the high of this small bearish candle, there is a probability we can come up to the next resistance. But the best thing will be just to wait for a confirmation on the weekly time frame. I mean, we should either get a closure above this resistance in order to anticipate the price is going to go to the upside, or we need to have a strong bearish candle close at this previous resistance so that we can anticipate the price to come down to the next support. So that is something on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to daily time frame to find more details what is happening on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we can see if we mark our support and resistance zones, we can see that we have this resistance, and let's also try to mark our support, so we can see that we have this one as a support. So right now we can easily see that the price is ranging between this resistance and this support. And if we, so basically we need a breakout here. If we get a breakout to the upside, there will be a higher probability for the price to continue up to the next resistance. Same thing, if we get a closure below the support, we have clean range on the left hand side, there will be a higher probability for the price to come down to the next support, which is right into these areas. So that is something on the daily time frame. Now let's go to 4-hour time frame to find what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, if we mark our levels, we can see that we have this resistance. And if we talk about the support, this is a support, and there is one more support, this support, but we have another level. So I will say bring our support right here. So now we can also see that we have this resistance. So like above this resistance, the next resistance is right here. So if we get a closure above this resistance, we can see that there is a clean range on the left hand side. So there will be very high probability for the price to continue up to the next resistance. That is something I see. And to the downside, if you get a closure below the support, there is a higher probability for the price to come down to the next support, which is right here. So that is something I see on the 4-hour time frame. Now let's go to 30-minute time frame to find what is happening on the 30-minute time frame. So on the 30-minute, we can see that the price, we had resistance, price broke this resistance, created a basically higher high and higher low kind of structure. So we are kind of it looks like we are bullish on the 30-minute time frame, and the price is moving to the upside. Now if we mark our support and resistance, we can see that. So this is the resistance, but we have another level here. So let's mark for safety, let's mark our resistance right here, right? And for the support, this one is the support, right? If we talk about next resistance is right here, next support is right here. Let's also measure this range. This is something like, it's not a big range, so I will not I may not be, it depends, but I may not be looking for a breakout sell below this area. Anyways, price already created a new high. We already created a new high. Right now the price came down, we already have the resistance. Now if we get a closure above this resistance, so we know that we have a clean range on the left hand side. So there will be, once we get the closure, there will be a higher probability, very high probability for the price to come up to retest this high created by the price. At the same time, if we get a closure below this area, we might look for sell. We might look for a sell to retest this support. But the range is not much. We have just 20 pip of range. So the better thing can be wait for a low to be created and wait for a pullback once we make a pullback and create a resistance, we can look for a sell to retest this low. That is something, we can just look for, on the GJ, on the 30-minute time frame. So that's it, guys. This was the analysis on the gold and GJ from the monthly to the 30-minute time frame. I also talk about some intraday and scalping setups on the 30-minute time frame. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you really did like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel in order to support the channel and YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. See you in another video.